Yeah, so just had to wear a mic or a headphone, but I kept catching the audio, so I was actually doing a reaction video because I was watching this in the bathroom and decided to react to it. That's about it. It's basically like the makers of F.E.A.R, kind of. Yeah.
The goal we had starting off was really to try and take close quarters combat to the next level.
The great part about it is you never know how it's going to play. You never know what's going to happen.
You almost forget you're playing the game because it just looks real.
It's cool. They changed like the sound effects.
Other games have done
This makes it more like
jump
surrounding.
out of the closet at you, and what we've really tried to do is get under your skin.
Hush now, Mr. Moody. The time for talk is done.
It was amazing. I mean, I've never seen so unique a game.
It's not about up-in-your-face monsters. It's about really messing with the player's mind.
It wasn't until I started playing that I really got it.
It breaks so many of the standard conventions of what you would expect out of a first-person shooter.
It's gonna be probably like A-list game.
This is the first-person shooter title.
This game's
that
still awesome.
I've always hoped that my other titles would be.
I think it was the first time we really had a chance to kind of start from scratch. We weren't making a sequel to another game. We had been thinking about kind of the core concept of a game that had a lot of action in it and was just based on kind of the action movie experience. From the very beginning, we always talked about it as being like an action movie.
At its core, it's a very intense, visceral shooter with a little bit of a twist of the supernatural.
When we started off, we really worked with a lot of people to nail down the scope of what the game is going to be and who are we marketing to, because we really wanted to make a game that's going to appeal to more people.
You guys about done up there? Or are they just getting started?
This team has always been very focused on trying to tell a good story with the game. We try to not just make it about, going around and shooting bad guys who are popping out of every corner. There is a
Bad guys.
hopefully a compelling story, all the things that, make movies exciting.
They really wanted to create this John Woo style action movie blended with elements of The Ring.
Did a good
that
job.
was their focus from the beginning. They're avid consumers of all other types of media, so they know what's scary, they know
Ring.
what's fun.
The horror element actually suggested itself and seemed to fit right in with the story that we had come up with initially, which did have some kind of paranormal elements to it already.
The key thing is the blending of this over-the-top, just visceral action game with just great elements of horror that are tied in with suspense and just the whole eeriness of it. Getting that sort of feel inside an action game just hasn't been done yet.
Storytelling structure hasn't changed for thousands of years at least, in all recorded stories they have some key structural elements.
Craig's really good at adapting the story to fit within the capabilities of what we could do within the game.
Because it is a game and because the player is a participant, the more you can do real time with the player in control, the more immersive the experience becomes.
Monolith has taken, a lot of care to not to be, in your face with the, the kind of scary moments or the gore even. There's a lot of times it's what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. You're genuinely creeped out.
When you're testing something specific, you can get very focused on it. And there was a particular scene where Alma, the little girl, I had placed her, I had her walking across a doorway, and I had sort of forgotten that she was there. So I'm walking around looking at the lighting and the scene, and I turn around and catch her out of the corner of my eye, and I just completely freaked out because I'd forgotten she was there, and she's just standing there kind of looking at me. It's chilling.
In our bathrooms, they have the round ceiling lights, and one of them was burnt out, and the other one was flickering.
There's been a number of times where I've walked into the bathroom and turned on the light, and in the mirror, seen a dark shadow behind the door as I closed it.
One day, John Mulkey came running into my office, and he's like, there's like this shadow in the bathroom, and it's freaking me out. I can't stand it.
I swear it happened. No one believes me.
And it was weird because I went in there and I was kind of laughing to myself, going, yeah, whatever. And I walked in there, I'm like, God, this is a freaky room. This is scary.
We don't use that bathroom as much anymore.
We don't use that bathroom as much anymore.
One of the biggest challenges we had was overcoming the technological hurdle. This technology is getting so much more realistic and detailed that the time and the resources it takes to actually finish and complete a world is increased, fivefold, but the resources have maybe only increased, by 30%. So we're having to become much more creative and using tools to allow us to create that kind of content.
We've spent a lot of time just trying to make the combat sequences as intense as we possibly can. So to do that, we're utilizing all the strengths of the technology. Dynamic lights, hanging lights in a room that move as soon as, you start shooting and stray bullets hit them. Objects that'll fly around with the physics.
You're playing the game, and at first you look at it and go, wow, is this a screenshot? But it's not. It's you're in the game.
You shoot a gun into pretty much anything, a lot of pieces are going to fly out. And it sounds kind of like a simple concept, but it's hard for games to pull that off and make it look realistic. So on the technology side, we knew if we wanted to do that, we were going to have thousands of these particles. We wanted them to move realistically, so it feels like you're in a firefight. It feels like, someone's shooting at you, there's bullets whizzing by, there's chunks of the wall being blown out, there's smoke and, shell casings flying and just, chaos. Just
good job, too.
I believe that being able to see your body in a first-person game is the future, and I think that we were one of the first that have really pulled it off in a way that's big.
So now you look down and you see your feet, you see your arms, and you feel like you are in the world. We wanted to even make it more interactive with the hand-to-hand combat, so you can do these scissor kicks and slide kicks and
scissor
roundhouse
kicks,
and you feel like you're a badass.
We'd played games where you were part of a Special Forces team, but the enemies are always just standing around. We wanted to play against a Special Forces team, so the AI just had to be phenomenal.
The evolution of AI in gaming has been one driven by the demand of the players. These days, people are looking for a deeper experience. They want a greater challenge and deeper immersion.
This is made in 2005, and AI is still a big thing, even bigger now.
So how the AI interacts with you is how much you can get immersed in the game.
Hey, this game was ahead of its time.
In the environment that the AI can use. So when you come into a situation where you've got bad guys rushing into a space, what they do is really based upon your actions. If you decide to take cover and head off in one direction, the AI will have a number of available options presented to them because of what you do.
The cool thing about the AI in F.E.A.R. is it's not scripted, it's part of their behavior. So they'll walk out to an area and they'll evaluate what they want to do to get at the player, to get away from the player. So each time they do that, it could be different.
We have an assassin character who can cloak and cling to walls and jump over railings and comes right up on top of you.
We also added the squad behavior for the AI. So now when you come into an area, you have to fight the whole squad. It's not just each individual AI by themselves. They can communicate with each other. You'll hear them talk about he's behind the wall or he's trying to flank us.
It comes back to that focus on the close quarters combat. The experience of being in a space with a squad of enemies and fighting them and defeating them is really, really satisfying. And that's our greatest achievement on this game.
Our audio department has been outstanding on all of our projects. I think every game that we've made, we've always gotten, 90% or above on our audio ratings. It's a testament to the detail that these guys put into our projects. Audio, from a sound effects standpoint, is all about really bringing in the player into that world. And then there's, of course, music.
Music's one of the most important elements of a game like F.E.A.R. When you think about what is really conveying the emotional aspect of the events and as you're sort of piecing the story together as you're playing, it's pretty much the most powerful way to do it. You actually have something there that really gives you a sense of what that feels like, and you can't describe it. You can really only describe it with music.
The music we did for F.E.A.R was a conscious effort to try to be somewhat minimalistic. We didn't want to have soundtracks playing throughout the game. We wanted something that just kind of blended in with the environment and the ambience, just to keep people on edge.
This game is all about flipping people's expectations around. The way it's been designed, it means that the first idea that you get is not necessarily the right one. In fact, in more cases than not, it's probably not going to be the right one.
Quality assurance is one of the key factors that we have and one of the key tools for product development to make sure that the game is tuned right, that the balance is there, that the levels feel fun, that the pacing's right, is it too hard to play? So all those things are crucial that you get that feedback from QA.
F.E.A.R's had a longer test cycle than a lot of our projects, but this is one that we really knew that everyone was going to work really hard to try and get right.
The developer gives us a build once a week and we bang away at it. We have all sorts of checklists that we got to run, and on a daily basis I'll create a report.
Yeah, good job.
Willie does all the work, he just makes me look good.
Have you seen this one before?
The testers are fans of the game, which is a great thing to see.
Our goal was to try and play the game as early as possible so we could evolve it based on playing it, building something, playing it, tweaking it, playing it again.
Well, sometimes if I come from the left, it'll do it, but sometimes from the right.
It's been
This makes me want to make a video game. I always wanted to do that. Just see how that would be like.
Testers' input, they value the things that they have to say, and that shows in the game.
Now we're actually getting into more formalized play testing where you're behind the glass and you watch a group of people play.
Brian skipped the intro.
Oh, really? He must not have known what he was doing.
He must not have.
How would you guys describe the difficulty level of the game? Was it about right, or was it?
That part was really hard. I only passed it like right at the end.
I like the fact that they're listening to my opinion and that that as a gamer, they're trying to make the experience better.
And action. So it's a big week in development for F.E.A.R. Here we are, getting up to beta, and we're putting in the final sequence. The last two levels are going in at this moment, and making sure that it is just right and has that, final payoff for the player.
F.E.A.R is one of those great products that marketers dream about. I think the approach in this particular case was to do something with a little more texture, a little more sophistication. We needed to do something that wasn't paint by the numbers. I wanted to make certain that we got a campaign that clearly showed how this game was not like any other game that you'd ever seen.
It looks like F.E.A.R is really coming together. Like everything we're doing is very, very exciting. It's probably one of the biggest PC launches that we've had. And everything we've kind of done has been very minimalistic. We're giving out as little information as we can, but keeping it interesting.
We haven't released much on the story, and we're not going to, because this is like a movie. There are some serious twists all the way through.
We had this event in Dallas, Texas at the CPL 2005 event. We had hundreds of fans waiting for over an hour to get a chance to play the game in a tournament that we set up.
All right, sit together, let's go, let's go, let's go!
What did you think of the game?
The game's amazing. Bottom line, it's awesome. People, going off from the booth with their F.E.A.R t-shirt. It was the hit of the show. The buzz around the title couldn't be larger.
One of the most important initiatives that we have is what's known as our Director's Edition.
We are going to do a live action series of 1-minute vignette movies. This is going to be really cool. And we're going to put these 6 parts of this movie on the Director's Edition as well.
And action.
Hello, Alma. I'm Dr. Green. I'm here to check up on you. See how you've been feeling.
They know this is a special title that they're going to want to get, load up, turn the lights down, turn the sound really up, and just have one of these great gaming experiences that don't come around that often.
I'm really excited that we had a vision, and I think we nailed it.
We're just going to make the best game we can and hope that everybody loves it. But it's exciting that other people are sharing the excitement.
I had great expectations.
Oh, I love that game.
It's
One of my favorite games, actually, probably my favorite.
Totally surpassed those.
It's not often you come across a product that has this sort of magical blend of ingredients that can drive its own buzz just by the very nature of what the idea is and who's making it.
It's probably going to be kind of hard to play this game by myself with the lights off. I'll probably play it, but maybe with the lights on during the day.
I've never seen anything like this. It's addictive.
I was playing with the lights off. I think I played like a million times. The first few times, I think I was like that too, actually. That game creeped me out as a kid a little bit. Not that much, though. What was this one about?
Jimmy John's now has hot sandwiches and...
Over the past 2 generations of the Monolith engine, we've really kind of focused on what makes F.E.A.R special. We've tried to take the key elements that really worked for F.E.A.R.
Oh, F.E.A.R 2 Project Origins.
Really dynamic
Okay.
environments, the dynamic lighting, and the high effect density, and try to build on top of that while
same
moving
people,
on
looks
to
like.
the next generation of consoles.
Next generation of console, he
Over
said.
the course of development, there were
cool.
a lot of things that we were able to do that really turned out way better than we ever anticipated. One of the things we came across was real-time volumetric rendering. This allows us to have light kind of streaming through a grate or a tree and actually have it look like light would with a participating medium of like dust or something else scattered in the air. It really leads to much more immersive environments. We really focused on taking what was great about F.E.A.R 1 and pushing it to the next level. The destructibility is much more immense if you've seen any of the powered armor videos where it'll just destroy an entire city block. What gamers are going to get from F.E.A.R 2 over F.E.A.R 1 is just a much more rich, dynamic, and polished experience. We've also incorporated motion blur and depth of field, and all of these really just help to provide more immersion for the player. It's just a much more high-fidelity experience.
On a conceptual level, Monolith's AI works pretty simplistically. The complexity comes in the details. It's pretty analogous to the way human behavior thinks. I have a goal, and in a game like F.E.A.R, a goal would be I want to kill the enemy.
We wanted to improve the AI's navigation system, but we wanted to give the AIs more opportunities to do more things that interacted with the worlds, like have AIs run on walls, run on rails, jump over desks even more fluidly than they had before.
If the player decides to move to one side of the level or one side of a scene, the AI will choose the correct behaviors in order to engage him appropriately. Another great improvement that we made from F.E.A.R to F.E.A.R 2 would be movable cover. The AI can get behind the vehicle or something like that, and as the cover is moving, he will move with it and engage the player in a certain way.
The AI behavior I think I'm most proud of is fire. When our AIs catch on fire, they react very emotionally to it. They run around, they try to roll themselves out in water if there's any nearby, and it makes for a really visceral experience.
The AI surprises me all the time. There have been numerous times where the AI will run to the side and throw a grenade at me from behind cover. It plays differently every time. It's very impressive.
F.E.A.R 2 actually starts 30 minutes or so before F.E.A.R ends. Playing as a different character in the follow-up allows us to show you some of the same events from a different perspective, which fills in some of the blanks that you might have had from the first game. The main character in this game is Michael Beckett, who is part of a Special Forces unit that's sent to pick up Genevieve Aristide, who's the head of Armacam Technology Corporation. On the surface, they're an aerospace company, but they also do a lot of top-secret military programs. It's supposed to be a routine mission, but then this explosion happens, which is the event from the end of F.E.A.R, and then everything changes. Then it becomes this fight for survival. They basically indirectly wiped out an entire American city. So they've sent in special
they did say
crews to try and
wipe out the
bury all
cities.
evidence.
The war.
The original project was called Project Origin, and it was to use Alma's genetic material to create these commanders that are capable of commanding these clone armies telepathically. Alma becomes aware of Michael Beckett, and he becomes a sort of beacon that she's drawn to. And as a result of hiding
I didn't
this
know about this.
tragedy, it festers in her, and she becomes much more toxic, much more dangerous. It becomes really a quest to try and
anyway, we're on that a little bit.
onto. And as a result of hiding this tragedy, it festers in her, and she becomes much more toxic. Michael Beckett, and he becomes a sort of beacon that she's drawn to. And as a result of hiding this tragedy, it festers in her, and she becomes much more toxic, much more dangerous. It becomes really a quest to try and stop her, to destroy her before she destroys everything.
From a combat or level design perspective, we really listened to a lot of the players out there that played F.E.A.R, and one of the critiques that came from the community was people were saying that we were really kind of confined in office spaces. We thought there were some really great gameplay aspects about really close in-your-face, tight combat, but we also wanted to augment that with changing the volume of the space. So by opening up, we can kind of create an ebb and flow of pacing of combat and how that's going to resolve. We went to places like a nuclear facility, we went to a school, we went to a hospital. We would go with artists, we would go with sound, we would also go with level designers. So now when they're actually building the environment that they're going to have combat in, they can actually build spaces that feel viable, that feel realistic to the player. We had people that were taking photographs literally of like pipes at a macro level, looking at cracks, looking at water stains. We use them as texture references, we use them as part of our effect systems.
I can tell even like school scenes too. School scenes really good.
Credibility to the scene.
Beautiful visuals too.
I think
for
the key
older
thing
game
to
too.
keeping the player on the edge of their seat is to surprise them and not let them get too comfortable. You can sort of let them think that they're getting into a pattern, but then you have to vary it.
We basically built a color story, much like they do in film. You know, as things start to become a little more tense, you're going to start to see more aggressive colors, and as things start to become a little more subdued in the story, we're going to kind of bring down that color map so that it starts to feel a little more relaxed. There's definitely colors that are associated with Alma. She'll get in close proximity with you, and she'll start to interact with the player. You'll start to see glimpses of parts of how she perceives the world, and all that has a very specific crafted color hue.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So as we keep coming back to it time and time again, we're reinforcing that, and then we pay it off great at the end of the game, helping explain it and kind of pull it all together.
Hi, I'm Dane. I'm the community manager on Project Origin, and we're going to be doing a series of behind-the-scenes videos for you. So we're going to start off by introducing the leads.
My name is Dave Hassel. I'm a senior producer for Monolith Production. What is my favorite weapon of all time? BFG. Castle Wolfenstein / Doom. Yes, I'm old.
I'm Tarl. I'm the associate producer in charge of multiplayer on Project Origin. Weapon of all time in a game, not what I normally beat hobos with in the backyard. That's a tough one. I actually really like the shovel in Condemned 2.
My name is Nathan Edson. I am an associate producer. My favorite weapon in the game of all time is, of course, a weapon from F.E.A.R, the penetrator from F.E.A.R, where you, of course, nail people to walls. It's really great.
I'm Bob Roberts, and I'm kind of a production assistant, associate production guy that produces. What's your favorite moment with Alma? In-game. I was totally gonna say that lunch at the Olive Garden last week. but
I'm John Mulkey, the lead game designer
I
on Project.
I recognize him.
Games did I work on at Monolith, you ask? Well, that's a brilliant question. I think that's a really good question. Let me answer those. Let's see, there was No One Lives Forever. Enjoyed working on that. No One Lives Forever 2, enjoyed working on that. I was the lead level designer on that one. That was pretty exciting. Worked on Contract Jack. We'll not talk about that much. Went over and worked on Tron. That was really fun. Cool change of pace. Worked on F.E.A.R. Was the lead level designer on F.E.A.R. That was pretty fun. And now I'm working on Project Origin as the game designer, and that's pretty fun too. Who has the best hair on the team? Why? I don't know. I think it would probably have to be, I don't know, probably me.
These guys are awesome. I like them.
I would say, yeah.
My name is Nathan Hendrickson. I'm a senior game designer here. I also do lead cinematics design.
I don't recognize that gun.
I think in the first F.E.A.R. game, when you're going down the ladder for the first time and you turn, you activate it, you turn, and she's right in front of you. Freak me out. Game of all time. The Black Hole Generator from Blood 2.
James Axman, director of audio, and I was lead level designer on the original game. Favorite moment with Alma from the original game is there's a scene where she's walking on the ceiling. I thought that was pretty creepy.
My name is Brian Pimenton. I am the sound designer, lead sound designer for Condemned, Project Origin, Monolith. Favorite Alma moments? It was actually in the prototype. It was my favorite Alma moment. When you first see her and then she's coming at you and then everything was kind of... It's because I did the sound in it.
My name is Corey Allmeyer. I'm the art director for Project Origin. A moment of Alma from the original game would probably be the one where she showed up at the top of the ladder you were climbing and scared you. I fell off the ladder like 3 times because it scared the crap out of me so bad. What's my favorite color? Puce.
Is Matt Allen. I am the art commander. Yeah.
I might have to play Fear one more time on PS3 though, because I got like a new PS3 and I don't want to just. I haven't played any games on it. I don't know what games to play on it. I'm probably gonna play Fear again on PS3. I'm gonna do like a speed run though, so I'm not gonna take forever on it though.
I like the part where I think Wes did a really awesome job with the blood on the ceiling, and so. Anytime we went into that hallway and you got like the great screen effects and like the weird blood on the ceiling.
My name is John Turner and I am the art lead for characters and weapons. My favorite color would be black. Absolutely.
My name is Kevin Didrick and I am the lead world artist. My favorite moment with Alma, you know, it never even made it into the first F.E.A.R game. At one point, Craig had prototyped the scene where the player came up into an elevator lobby, and this elevator lobby had a mirror and a little like table with a potted plant, and then if you walked over to that mirror and looked at the mirror, the entire room behind you would basically turn into this like blood-coated room, and Alma was standing like right behind the player in the mirror, and then you turn around and it would flash and it would be back to normal again. And unfortunately, I don't around. Alma was standing like right behind the player in the mirror, and then you turn the room and Alma was standing like right behind the player in the mirror, and then
what part was that?
The entire room behind you would basically turn into this like blood-coated room, and Alma was standing like right behind the player in the mirror, and then you turn around and it would flash and it would be back to normal again. And unfortunately, I don't think that ever made it into the final PC release.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
It was easily one of the cooler Alma moments that never were.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, there's like so many parts I feel like I've seen. I wish I would have made it in. It's really cool. They should have kept them in.
My favorite part in the original title is it's a real dark, mysterious area.
Made it longer too.
Every direction. You even look behind you. You start to go down a ladder.
See, this game needs
almost right there, right in your face. Great.
Oh, this name needs a Zora. So I was talking about Lizard. What was this? What's it you call it? A remastered version, and then you add all that in there. You know what I mean? That'd be so cool. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen though.
My name is Russ Pecoraro, and I'm lead engineer on Project Origin. So
I'll play that so fast. I'll make sure I get on that right real quick.
The first time we started getting scares in, one of the first things we did was add her at the top of this ladder. So as you're getting on the ladder, you spin around, and then like right there, she just appears and like pops out of the view like really, really quickly. And then you get down to the bottom, thinking, oh my god, that was that's really scary. Ooh, thank god that's over, and then you relax, and then you turn around and Fettle's like right in your face and just kind of like dissolves away. So you get like 2 scares right there. It's really cool.
Sounds cool.
I'm Lucas Ridding. I'm the QA lead here at Monolith. Like my favorite moment with Alma is the first time you see her and throws you down the hall with the flames exploding.
Welcome to Monolith Productions. Right this way. My name is Ming. I'm the usability manager for Monolith. I want to be showing you guys around today, taking a little tour of the usability lab, where we have a lot of testing going on. This is Megan, our receptionist, the gatekeeper to Monolith. She makes sure all the bad people are out. And right over here is my second home, the Playtest Labs. Come on in. So this is where we do a lot of our usability testing. We've got 11 stations here.
Yeah, Xbox
and
controller.
It's hooked up to each station is hooked up to
Xbox.
a TV.
No, I'm playing.
And then we've got dev kits going on at the bottom. We got a PlayStation 3 down there and Xbox 360.
I got a 360 controller right here.
Sometimes we want to simulate like a real life,
And a
living
Series X.
experience, just to see how players will play the game if they were at home. So this is it. We got a sofa, we got a chair. I give them drinks, pizza, whatever, and they just play on this TV. Usability testing at its most basic level is bringing people from outside of Monolith to play our game, so we can gather their feedback for the developers.
That wasn't in
When
Fear
running a
2.
test, I encourage people to
The
think
gun
aloud
model
while
looks
they're
different in Fear.
it's
Fear
simple,
2.
but it really helps me to understand.
I know what gun that is though. Now.
I also watch what people do as they play to see.
I wish they
if
would have
there's
kept that in though. That looks really cool.
Or if they're just having a really good time. We involve gamers in the design process because they are the ones that will be playing the game at the end. So what they think.
This looks really cool. I wonder why they didn't keep this in.
We have a talented group here at Monolith, but over a long period of time, it can be difficult to know if the game we're making.
Dang, I wish I would have kept it like that. That looks so awesome.
Usability testing bridges that gap between designer vision and gamer experience. So, I've been pretty swamped. I've had to run a lot of usability tests for Project Origin. I started looking for some help. Dave, one of the lead artists, offered to help me out.
I just want to say thanks for coming in.
Happy to be here. It's excited.
Good. Today what we're going to do is we're going to have you take a look at Project Origin. We're going to play through a couple of levels and kind of get some feedback from you, like strengths, weaknesses, some of the challenges throughout the game. And hopefully by the time we're done with this, we're going to have a good positive experience from it.
So we were real excited to get Dave Matthews on board as our usability lead, but suddenly he started showing up wearing this lab coat and these goggles, and his practices methodology became pretty much unsound.
So tell me what you're thinking.
Thinking I really don't like this right now.
Dude, you got to dodge that shit. There you go, slow-mo. Look at that. You accidentally hit the button. Look at you. What a wise monkey. It looks like you're taking a lot of damage. You're walking around, you're pumping into shit. You're not really playtesting. Dude. Look. Dude, play.
I like these people. They're funny. Oh, this is awesome.
You suck!
Are you even really a doctor?
You have walls of degrees that will make your head spin.
According to our records, Dave didn't even graduate from high school.
Walls of degrees. Get out of here. Hey! Ouch!
Alright guys,
man.
so if you're interested in playtesting for us, we're always open for new playtesters. Just come over to www.lift.com, click on the link that says Monolith Gamers, and you can sign up, and you might have a chance at coming over here to the Playtest Labs. And I'm not as crazy as Dave.
Hi, my name is Adrian Dupre. I'm the manager of IT for Monolith Productions, and we keep
IT.
all the desktops, networks, servers, infrastructure running so the rest of the company can focus on making games.
Hi, my name is Spencer Myers, and I'm a senior systems administrator here at Monolith Productions.
And I'm Woody, systems and network support.
I'm Marv, the IS pimp. I do system specialist and network specialist stuff.
These people look so cool.
My name's Josh. I'm a system admin here at Monolith.
This is how it's gonna go for your dreams, man. Meet some really cool people, really good friends.
A typical day is servicing a lot of users that know little to nothing about computers or technology, yet they work in technology. Probably one right now. Hi, this is Spencer.
Spencer, this is Jacob. I have a little problem down here.
Hi, Jacob. What's going on?
Things are going really slow. I think I need a new cable for my PC here.
What kind of cable do you need?
Well, I don't know. It's such a rat's nest back here.
My keyboard's not working. My network's not working. My cable's unplugged.
Got some plastic on the outside, and then you can see some silvery, shiny bits.
I have to tell you, Jacob, most cables have a little shininess and maybe some plastic on the outside. It's not really narrowing it down. I need you to narrow down what kind of cable you have! Narrow it down!
IT work can be stressful.
I want to help you solve your problem. I want you to work and get these games done.
Very stressful.
Starbucks?
Coffee today.
I'll still gotta use my Starbucks card. I might use it today after work.
Lucas Hammer Myers,
Don the Passion Dillinger,
and
I might.
Colin Moore.
Hey Danny, I just released a build to the rest of the team.
Awesome. Now we can tighten up the graphics in level 3.
Sweet. Sweet radishes.
Asparagus.
These people are having a good time.
I've been in this industry.
This video's
for
awesome.
years, and I've
Entertaining and
never
everything. I'm glad I watched this.
The Air 5s.
Sweet.
The trumpet noises. The singing.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit something and I'm trying to work right now.
Said to turn around.
Bright eyes.
The HR violations are just too many to number.
It's true. You can't argue with science.
Monolith quality assurance analysts.
I like that video.
That's enough. You spit on me. That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Oh man. I wonder for F.E.A.R 3. Oh, I know they didn't make F.E.A.R 3. I think Day One Studios did that one. Yeah.
And away we go.
10 months ago.
Motion capture is the technology they use to capture performances of actors and then translate that to 3D data that we then apply to our characters. There's a series of cameras set up in an array around the room. They're basically capturing markers that are set up at specific key points on the character to ensure that we have articulation at each joint. That data is captured with infrared cameras that reflect back the information to the cameras, and then that data is triangulated. The talent we get are really true professionals.
For work.
They've been doing acting and stuff.
12:25 right now. I go in at 12 or 11:25 right now. I go in at 12.
I think at the end of the day, you have to remember what it was like to be a little kid running through the woods playing, cops and robbers.
It's just a matter of really thinking like a good actor and trying to say, how does this character carry themselves? What is it that's affecting their body as they move? And just trying to visualize yourself in a different set of bones and a different skin.
Forgetting what you look like, I think, is one of the greatest challenges that any actor for motion capture.
Oh, I know that's from those dudes. Yep.
Just using your skeleton or your joints, and they're superimposing another character that probably looks nothing like you whatsoever. But I think once you see what the character looks like with your movements, that's a really big step for any motion capture actor to just realize that it's not you at all.
So basically, I give them an insight into the character that they're performing, give them a little background, who the character is, what the character means to the game. And a lot of times we just let talent perform impromptu and kind of freestyle a little bit. So we give them a lot of creative input on how they want to play the character.
If I'm lucky, I know kind of what the game is about, what kind of characters I'm looking at before I go into the shoot. And honestly, I sit down and play a lot of video games the night before to try to get just a reference point of what it would be like to actually swing at these things.
Motion capture is basically a tool for the animators to kind of push the limits of the animation. It gives us the fidelity, we get the subtleties of the motion. What we're able to do with it is push it beyond the limits of what a human can do.
When you pick up a game today, the movement of it, the acting within the game, the characters themselves
move and are so much more developed than characters that had been hand animated just in the computer from games, just even a few years ago. And I think today's gamers really expect to see that next level of real performance. You hear criticism on both sides. You hear, oh, now the performances aren't real performances because it's somebody else's skin on the screen or whatever. I think that the challenges are even tougher for the actor now. Getting an authentic, real performance to play through a digital skin, I think takes a lot of skill.
Made me respect the video game more, seeing all they do for it too. All the work that goes into it. This is really awesome. Real people are like actually acting it out. I wish it was longer though. I guess wish there was more, or even a F.E.A.R. 4. I think we already seen all that.
What it was.
The movement of so many games, Steve, the screen.
We wanted to bring to the franchise. The main contribution that we wanted to bring to the franchise that calls on horror, that calls on really good storytelling, that calls on visceral combat is Divergent co-op.
The idea with the Divergent co-op in F.E.A.R. 3 is to give the players asymmetrical play. We wanted to do something different, have each player experience the game differently.
That looks different.
What we mean by that is that each player has unique sets of abilities. Now, when you play together these different sets of abilities, you create a whole slew of different ways that the players can strategize to set up tactics to combat the enemies.
Well, when playing co-op, you can't always trust what the other player is going to do. The way that we're doing the scoring in the game, players are playing together to win points, but they're also playing against each other.
Fiddle on one hand, he can grab somebody, use them as a meat shield, and he's consistently working his way through that space and killing guys. My favorite power that Fiddle has is possession.
So let's say there's a sniper up on the rooftop and you want to create this flanking situation. Fiddle can just possess that guy up there and become a sniper for that moment.
And then you have Point Man, who's more of a classic first-person shooter player and has the ability to use 360 cover and slow-mo.
Adding co-op impacts the franchise in a very positive way. Co-op just inherently asks the player to replay the game numerous times. I mean, the whole idea of sharing the fear with your buddy, with some stranger, it just created a whole new type of F.E.A.R. experience that I think will really forever change the F.E.A.R. franchise in future.
We have to think about things as a family.
We first met Day One when they were working on the port of the F.E.A.R. 1 PC game to the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.
One of the things that we wanted to make sure we leveraged was the established relationship that we had with Monolith when we had done some of the work for them on the ports, and making sure that the original F.E.A.R. has that same experience that was great on the PC and we bring it to the consoles. And what they talked to us about was focusing on very, very good AI, focusing on horror, and then focusing on combat. We had friends there, we knew them, we had a good relationship, and we leveraged that as we went and worked on F.E.A.R. 3.
When we thought about what F.E.A.R. 3 should become, we started talking with Day One in about 2008 about how can we evolve this franchise and really capture the essence of what it is, but growing it into something that's
just make
bigger,
one more,
something
please.
that's more amazing and delivers a better experience for the consumer.
Monolith and Day One coming together to work together on F.E.A.R. 3 has been a really interesting process because you think about it as almost two teams. But the reality is that what we wanted to do was make sure we had one team, that we brought the best parts of Monolith and their understanding of the F.E.A.R. franchise, and then we marry it with Day One's expertise in mech combat and combat in general.
Day One is able to take that experience and bring it into F.E.A.R. because F.E.A.R. has mech combat.
Oh,
and
Warner
so
Bros.
We set up
games.
a lot of meetings between the two studios to share that experience. We shared a lot of ideas about how to create good horror for video games, to properly scare the player, to create that great tension, to create that awesome type of atmosphere that puts the player on edge.
Hi, welcome to F.E.A.R 3 Developer Q&A. Thanks to everyone out there who's sending questions. We received a lot of good ones, so let's just jump right in. Our first question is, where do you at day one find inspiration when making F.E.A.R 3?
The first thing we had to do was I had to get familiarized with horror in general, and I went and I rented hundreds, literally, of movies, everything from Japanese horror to American horror to like international horror, and really got a sense of what's scary and what's not so scary, and tried to understand why some things worked and other things didn't. Something that really inspired me is a 50 cal bullet. This is the BMG that's used in a lot of long-range sniper rifles. And this is what I want players to fire, so I designed the sniper rifle to use this type of bullet, which is just massive over-penetration. It's just gonna blow dudes in half. Small things like this really help to set a goal, to say like, okay, what would it be like to fire a gun that used this kind of bullet, and what kind of experience would that be? So between the Japanese horror and the American horror, international horror films, between the games that have come before us, and then everyday inspirations, I think we've got a good accumulation of inspiration.
Thanks a lot. Our second question is, what is the generative system and how does it work?
The generative system is a process the game uses to spawn new AI and new horror events as a player moves through a level. The player's experiences are tracked, and this data is used by the game to ramp the intensity. The system's intent is to allow multiple playthroughs through a level without the player being able to determine when or where horror or AIs will be spawned.
Our last question is, what kind of weapons can injure and kill F.E.A.R?
F.E.A.R is subject to all the same damage that Point Man is, so weapons, environmental hazards, all that stuff will damage F.E.A.R in the same way that it damages Point Man. He's not invincible.
Oh.
And that's it. Thanks again for all of you for sending in your questions. Be sure to follow F.E.A.R 3 on Facebook and Twitter to find out when your next chance to submit new questions will be. Thanks again for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Definitely has powers though. He can like. It's weird because he has like replica soldiers. Why can I wonder if he can't make replicas?
Point Man's
There's probably a reasoning for
is going to be to stop taking out his anger on his brother F.E.A.R, i.e., shooting him in the head.
I think Point Man would be wise once this little adventure is over to look at ways to reduce his stress level at work. I've noticed the guy rarely smiles. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen him break a smile one time, but I think that was wind.
I think Point Man's New Year's resolution is going to be to speak up when he doesn't like what's going on.
I think F.E.A.R would probably want to quit smoking.
I think F.E.A.R's New Year's resolution is going to be to pay a little more attention to his diet, be a little more picky about what he's putting into his body.
Well, I think Alma's New Year's resolution is to lose that pregnant fat and get her girlish figure back.
I think Alma's is pretty clear to me. I mean, firstly, quit drinking. Look what happened last New Year's Eve. I think it might be worth her considering going back to school. I mean, she's of an age where, she's still got a few years ahead of her. She could make some different life choices and actually make something of the, of her skill set and develop that some. And let's be honest, with something on the way, she's going to need to have a decent income coming in to support that as a mother.
I think Alma's New Year's resolution will be to find a better babysitter.
Decent income.
Grandfather didn't work out so well last time.
Alma's New Year's resolution is going to be to treat her boyfriends a little bit better.
Her boyfriends. Sheesh. Here's one more video. I think I can hit one more video before I have to go to work. Try to get it in fast. Well, I don't know if I'm actually gonna. Oh, it's only 5 minutes. Okay. Fear. Ah, crap. What did I do? Oh. Fear. I'm not a fast typer, sorry. Fear, secrets, and I'm getting stuff wrong. I'm not supposed to secrets. Secrets, right? Secrets, okay, got it. Secrets and missing things. Here it is. She's loud. It's only 12 years ago? Whoa.
Got it. Watch out, grenade! Taking fire!
We've lost contact with Den Mother. Same here. All I get is static.
Why did he do it with his hands when he reloads like with that gun?
Elevator lobby. Copy that.
Skeleton. No, that was in the game. That part. That was in the game as well.
Den Mother, this is Delta. We lost a man. Repeat, we lost a man. Den Mother. God damn it. Repeat, Den Mother, you're breaking up.
I want to play that one. I never played that one. I'm gonna find a way to download that one, maybe. I think these are modded versions of it. Or I don't know. Maybe this was made but never made it into the game. Years ago.
I guess they aren't taking hostages.
Oh, this must have been like, because I saw in like here too. There's like ideas they can go with.
Are you reading it on your end? Roger that.
Probably remade the game a few times to get the right look for it, maybe.
I think it's a signal.
Because this is in the game. I remember this part. Just not those weapons. I think like the sound effect and the visuals were different. Alright. Well, I better get going here.
I hear you're a bad motherfucker. I hope.
Wait there for Holiday. I'm on my way.
I hear you're a bad motherfucker. The new guy. I hear you're a bad motherfucker. I hope it's true.
What do you think, Holiday?
I think some nasty shit happened here.
That's great. Got anything useful to add?
There's a lot of anger in this room.
Obviously.
That's
man, get off my dick. You asked what I thought.
What the heck? That's what Jen What?
No
That's
brass lying around.
That's what Jen said, but she didn't say that though.
What is it, kid? Holiday, you keep poking around there. Stanky, check it out.
Better you than me, brother.
What the heck? Alright, that should be good enough for me now.